All right, as threatened in previous videos, we're back on this nice Cub-Cadet walk behind, and I threatened to do yet another carburetor video to put out there on the internet. I really laughed when John Clem said what the internet needs, we're doing a live panel on Ken's, and he said something like, what you guys should do is you guys should do more carb videos. What the internet needs is more carb rebuild videos. Why the hell would we want to see that? Oh, nobody wants carb videos. Because I said so. All right. Because I like this motor. Ken said it's an MTD motor. It's a power surge, more or less power. I don't know what the hell it is. Who cares? It's actually a nice motor. I really liked it. 2012-ish, somewhere around there. We already did the valves in previous episodes. I went over the belt was not the correct belt. It mangled up the whole transport assembly. I had to repair and do some fabrication on the lift system. So all of that is behind us now, is in the past. And as I said, as I threatened, here is the rebuild video. And it is it's a why. Why what, Arch? Why what? Why are you doing it again? No, not why. Why? So you just said, isn't that what you just said? Why? It's not why. It's HUAYI. Why? Why? You know, so that's the brand. And you find these on Kohlers, which we'll see in a little bit, you know, as we get to that part of the video. So let me shut up. Put a little B-roll through all this somewhere, or right here, smack dab in the middle. The engine is, I forget what it is. We'll throw a little B-roll of the engine. Quick shot. And you guys go check out the rest of the videos in the series if you'd like. They'll all be in a folder on my channel. Arch, we have no idea what you're talking about. We just look at everything through a little phone and it doesn't show any of that stuff. Look, learn more about YouTube. Go to Arch's homepage. We don't know what a homepage is, Arch. We have no idea. Go to the homepage and check out playlists, and you're going to have to go through it. Don't just wait for YouTube to show you everything, right? Because they'll pick weirdo crap like me. Let's get started. Look how nice and clean this is. So, but I think what we should do, one thing I want to do is I want to put in a simple fuel shutoff. So that will put about here. So I'm going to pinch this off. I also want to suck his fuel out, because I want to see if it's clean. If it should be okay. We want to take a deeper peek into that tank. Little spring there, slides right in. You kind of line it up. When you're pulling it off, you then line this up, and it'll actually, that rod will pull out of that slot. So as you're pulling it this way on the studs, this looks real nice and clean and simple. Now I clean this cup out. See that? That's nasty. And there's some water and filth in it. So there's water and junk trapped in this. And we could actually spill that out too if we wanted to, but we know there's junk in there. So interestingly enough, even though we've got a cleaner fuel and I've run it, it's still got junk in the line sitting in there. So, all right, now we're going to switch in another filter in. Let me wire that up. We'll blow this out. I'm going to take this off. All right, that's all set up. So you put your switch here so you can change out a filter, a line, pull a carburetor, and I just pulled the plug on the bottom, the drain plug, and look, like that, isn't that amazing? And there's filth in it too. That's amazing that even though it's been run, he ran it, I let it run for a while, we brought it outside and tested it. I don't know if that's going to be in this video, but like, look at the fuel here. I took out 2 containers here. It was a little mixed with some of my stuff, but it's golden. And here's the last little bit of it over here. It's golden. I didn't really, there was a little piece of dirt. A couple little things in the tank. One looked like maybe a piece of wood or something. I don't know, something, you know, outdoor. Anyway, let me pull the carb off now. Okay, so I'm pulling the studs out. Grab it here with a vice grip on the big shoulder, and then double nut to spin it out the rest of the way. And the reason is because you don't want to bend these rods trying to get them out, right? There's Z-bends, and this is plastic, so if you try forcing, you'll break something. Just pull the studs out. Studs are kind of useless sometimes. To put it back together again, it's the same thing. You're going to have to do what I'm doing. Studs are silly. They really are for something like this. All right, let's see. I washed the outside, right, because it's got filth on the outside. Black is good because it doesn't glare. Like everything else seems to glare. You know, shiny objects are a problem. We don't want that. We don't want to contaminate what we're doing. Let's give it a pop, you know, because of the filth on the outside. She's pretty clean though. Let's see what we got. Doesn't look terrible. Here's our little gasket there. We don't want to lose that, but it's still on there. So let's see. Okay, so it's to the right when we were taking it off, and there's really no other way to do it. Anyway, will she just come off? No. No, you need a bigger tap. Oh, might need an even bigger tap. Yeah, it's on there. Can we pry? Not really. Let's use a little cushioning. And put a little bit of my release agent on. I mean, it should have released a little bit from just the wash, you know, with the in the solvent. It should just pop. Look, I can see the jet in there. It doesn't look bad. Yep, there we go. See that release? Oh, that release agent does a nice job. Look, fellas, see it? Put a little flashlight on there. Oh, I think I need to change the batteries in this thing. Yeah, we're going to get that washed off. Other than that, it looks okay. Somebody been in here. You could see somebody was wiping it with something. See? That looks like maybe Scotch-Brite or something. Yeah. And that gasket might be a problem. There's actually a gasket there. So if it causes a problem, we'll have to go back. It fits up against this. We'll have to come back in. Now, one of the things we might want to do, she kind of idle a little schmutzy. This feels a little sticky. We'll clean out the jet. Oh God, look, see? See all in here? It's a combination varnish. That's all around that, and oxidation. So at one point, oxidation, and another point, varnish. Let's pull this apart. If it comes apart, let's move this. And again, this screwdriver I've modified. So far, so good. Let's see if we can get it out. Just, nope. It's one of those. It's probably goobered in there. All right, we'll wash it more and then I'll work it out. Yeah, she's scooping in there. So it needed to come up. Even though it kind of ran, it didn't run great. This gasket's getting a little beat too. We may need to get a kit for it. At the very least, this might be its last time. You know, what we're going to do is we're going to push it from here. See inside? Let me see if I can show you. It's kind of hard to see it. That little brass narbule. There it is. So we'll give it a push with the screwdriver. That's the top of the emulsion tube. And it may not come. It might be in there. I don't know the carburetor, so some of these, yeah, it went. Some of these, let me get a pick. You know, like the Briggs, they're pressed in basically. So I'm gonna try to push more on it. Yeah, I might need something different. I need something bigger, something longer. Well, let's see if we can, oh, look, there it goes. I got it, I nudged it enough. All right, so this I'm gonna put in a little bit of lacquer thinner, and then I'm gonna throw it in to a touch of acid, my aluminum acid. This small one is about 28 thousandths, and it goes through, where's the small, this is one. It goes through most of the holes. That's a pretty small one for such a big engine. But yeah, see, it kind of goes through, so we're going to work it in. But the small holes, now this is a Tecumseh needle, from the older Tecumsehs, and that little pin, there's a bunch of small holes here. Okay? So I'm going to work that through, but first I'm going to soak it. You could soak it in some gum out too. Try not to get too much gum out on everything. Okay? Run that through. But let me soak it, and I'm going to wash it, solvent, basic solvent. Now, we got one more thing to do. Yeah, that's got varnish on it. Oh yeah. Yep, a little bit. Here, we're going to loosen up the varnish, we're going to put my transmission sauce on it. Half gas, half tranny fluid, because it's safe and it won't affect the Viton seat that's on there. So we have an idle jet in here, and what we're going to need to do is figure out, let me put a mark on this. Here's a mark right here, we'll use that. So we need to turn it in to see how far to back it out. So let's turn it in until it just seats. Oh, that's 1, a little sticky. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 turns. Now to pull it out. Okay. There's your, oh, it's got a little cap on it. That's kind of neat. So here's your idle jet in there. And a lot of times these get plugged. Now they're usually drilled, but not always. But if they are, it'll be here. Yes, see? That's really small, fellas. Like I said, all right, so we'll clean that out. Now this, it's got a little O-ring on it. If that O-ring is beat, it's no good. Yup, see, it's beat. See? So I don't know if I have another one. I think we're going to need to get a rebuild kit for this carburetor. So I don't know what it is, but that O-ring is beat. I may not have another one of these O-rings. They're very small O-rings. So I'm going to go look to see. And I think it's the only one. But yup, very common for that to happen. Let me go online and see if there is a rebuild kit for this. It's a HUAYI, HUAYI. And let's see if we can get some info on it. All right, we might get one more rebuild out of it. So this might even be a HUAYI, but this is a much smaller carburetor, and it's off of a newer Kohler. And this is same setup. Okay, I took it apart to get at that O-ring, because see these O-rings here, which you probably can't really see, but I'll just show you. They're like an O-ring kit. They're too thick. The O-ring that we need is really slender. So, you know, I save so much stuff. I don't particularly care for Kohler, really. Not some of the run-of-the-mill stuff and the stuff that you saw on Lawn Boys, you know, later on and everything. Too many variations, but let's just see. I lubricated a little bit of my tranny sauce. Hey, look at how I'm using a very thin dental pick. Very careful. See, look at how slender that is. And so this is clean now. I'll give it a blow, but yeah, we should be able to put that on there. Did it go on? Yes. And I'm going to put a little tranny fluid on it. My tranny sauce. Okay, so we're good. And again, I clean this with like 2-stroke. No, nothing else. Like I wouldn't use WD-40 maybe. And then get that idle jet in there clean. So we're good there. Let me go put away my Kohler stuff. Okay, so we're okay there. I'm going to give that a wash. And again, just so you see, right, it sets up, it almost is identical. It's just for a small machine. It may even be a HUAYI. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's the same. It's just smaller. But those idle jets are so similar. The only difference might be is on the inside, the bore, right, for the jet itself might be a little bit bigger. And sometimes, like I said, they don't drill in here, but yeah, you could see they drill in there because there's a brass insert. All right, let me put the stuff away. Same kind of setup. Look, just different size. So it's the same carburetor, same manufacturer, and we can steal parts. That's what I do. That's why I keep stuff. All right, let me back. By the way, this is just sitting in my little bit of Luma Bright. We'll get that kind of cleaned up. All right. All right, we got it all cleaned up. Look at these. See what I'm saying? Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of our tranny sauce in all of this. Just kind of sweeten everything up. It's pretty clean. I'd say it's worth a shot. Just snug it. I ran a Q-tip in here. I didn't put any, you could use a little bit of the acid that I like to use to get it brighter, but I think that should be okay. And again, this, you know, I just put a little bit of my fluid on it. We want to be careful with that kind of stuff. As long as it fits in there and it goes up and down. I say maybe next time just get an aftermarket carburetor, and we could still do that. See, that goes in nice. And let's see. So this went this way. Okay, there's only one way. Everybody went like that. And then this was the gasket. Hold on, let me thread this up. This I cleaned up good. A little bit of sauce on everything. Let's not over tighten it. Got to put our bowl screw in. Took that out before while it was just a little easier. It's tight enough. Okay, let's get the bowl screw. Yep, it's got a little washer on it. I think that was 10 millimeter. Yep. Now I got this guy. It's all clean, and it just goes right in here. There's these flats. See? So line the flats up with that sort of stop here. It's all clean out in there. See, and it should go right down. Yep, like a little snap. Then there's this thing. And then this we turn all the way in, back out 4. Lightly seated. We're going to go like 3.5 because we'll let the, if there is an idle, we'll let it be a little higher. It's usually, you're usually better off. Well, let's see, there's a mark. 1, 2, 3, and we'll come out just a little under 4. I like a little higher idle. Put a little lube. Make sure everything is working good. And I'll go install it. Right, now that's working good. Everything working good there. Yeah, that's our choke side, that's our throttle side. I'll go put that back. Let me straighten up a little bit though as well. We got these guys, don't forget, and I cleaned the back of this. So I'll go reassemble and we'll hang the carburetor and slide it in, and it's a pain in the neck, but we'll get it done. I've used this before, 10W30. The machine calls out for 1030. It's a 2012. I don't see any. I see a little smoke come out of it. It probably could use a little thicker weight oil. I'm waiting for the filter too, so we're going to have to run it with this filter. It should be here in a few days, but we need to test it out. So this is a semi-synth high mileage, which we're not really sure what they claim, what claims that they make. We could look into that. The price was very good. It was actually on sale. You know, it basically seal conditioners, things to prevent leaks. Well, that's nice. Other than just being a mineral-based motor oil that's been matched up to some level of synthetic, I forget, some of you fellas know, I looked into this years ago. They make the claim you have to have some really small percentage of actual synthetic stock. But, you know, for the price, it's pretty good. It is Valvoline. I've used, like I said, I've used it before. It's a little dark. Like, it's not bright, crisp, and clear like some of the, like the straight 1030 Pennzoil, you know, mineral. It'll work good in here. Let's get it in here, and I'm going to move to some other features. So I already cleaned this up and sprayed it with a bit of chain wax. Same thing here. You take it off. I make sure I clean all the connection points. I gap it down to 12 thousandths or 10 thousandths. I got this one to 10. We'll have a nice hot spark. That's to make sure that everything is working good, that we can gap it tight, and a little chain wax on everything will keep it from rusting again in the future. And we're going to get a great spark, and you'll be able to shut it off. Like, you want to make sure everything is nice while we're in here. So that's good. And then after this is in, I'm going to go around, I'm going to lubricate a bunch of cables. We also see here, I want to get a separate shot of this, fellas. But I want to do this. Not sure what's going on here. That might have been tack welded in. But I want to get another shot of that. See how it's bent? All right, let me get out of this shot. But like I said, I'm going to go around, while we're talking about oil, I'm going to go around and lubricate a few things. There's this cable here. I don't have the light on over here, but I want to try to lubricate that. Some of these other points here, grease would be better on some of these points, but we'll use a chain lube for that. Like a chain wax is better because it'll wax up. So anything that I can see, you know, to do while we're here, and give the oil a chance to do its thing. I'd like to take these tires off and grease in here, but I don't think we're going to get a chance to do that. So I might call it at that. And then we'll put the deck back. Okay, gas is in. So oil is in. Filter is in. And I see is it leaking, or is it just I made a mess? Hold on. All right, choke up. Oh, that sounds nice. Let's check idle. All right, notice the belts are not spinning now. Let's give it a shot. Much works. It's not bad. Let me get a little closer. And then if you know what's wrong with it, then what are you telling me for? What do you mean you hit something? Okay, what did you hit? Okay, well that's, yeah, all right, well I gotta see what it, yeah, yes, I have other machines, man. I got a lot of machines. They're all beautiful.